It's tough to take in just looking at the video and the pictures coming out of greater Los Angeles tonight as the Palisades wildfire officially becomes the most destructive in Los Angeles city history. And it's just one of several ravaging the California landscape, collectively burning nearly 27,000 acres and more than 1,000 structures. It has killed 5 people, evacuating more than 80,000. The Palisades fire is joined by 2 other big fires, the Eaton and the Hearst and the smaller Woodley fire. Tonight, we're going to take a closer look at the Eaton fire to start, which borders on the city of Pasadena. It was the first one to start last night. Matt Loughlin grew up here in Minnetonka and he moved to LA after college. He wasn't just among those who were forced to evacuate. He and his young family were one of the first to spot the Eaton fire and call 911. Today, we got the chance to talk to Matt to hear about those fateful few minutes and where things stand for he and his family tonight.
Last night around about 6:15 or so, well, 6:13, I guess I can tell you exactly because that's the timestamp on my camera. And I looked out the back window and I could see just a small fire starting up on the hillside. We were experiencing gusts of wind somewhere around maybe 70 to 80 miles an hour in my neighborhood, with sustained winds about 30 miles per hour. So I called 911 immediately, and I had my oldest daughter, who's 16, sit with my 2 youngest, who are almost 6 and one that's 3. And I went to alert the neighbors. And then about that time, fire trucks and police started to show up. And roughly 20 minutes after I made the first phone call, the whole canyon was engulfed. The police officers just said to us, grab everything you can in the next couple of minutes and get out of here as fast as you can. So I just told the kids, like, we just have to go. We really didn't grab anything. In fact, I'm in a Target parking lot buying underwear and things like that we had to leave behind. And we made our way to Manhattan Beach, where my wife's family lives. They're pretty far from any of the fires that are going on in the Palisades, so we feel relatively safe now. But the main concern, obviously, was just to get out. And we don't know the state of our house at this point. We watched all the news reports last night as much as we could handle, and everything around us definitely burned. I mean, I know in my neighborhood so far we've heard 2 people have died. If we did indeed lose this rental and all of our possessions, because everything was there, we'll figure things out one way or another. The most important thing is that we're all safe. And my 16-year-old daughter, I'm going to tear up at this point, but she's just like the most amazing kid on earth. And once she had to drive by herself as a new driver to go park the car somewhere. And then she got in the car, and the first thing she did, she wasn't worried about any of her stuff or about anything else. She was trying to keep her sisters calm. And I don't know, just very, very thankful for her and very lucky to have such a good kid.
Great kid. Matt is still in that phase of uncertainty right now about that house. But about 2 hours ago, he got a small dose of hope. He told me a neighbor sent him a text message that said everything around the house he and his family is renting is burned. But they think his might have been spared. They think they can see it still standing. He can't get there tonight for safety reasons, but he has some hope. He wants to get there tomorrow. And if I know Matt and his home was spared, he will likely open it up to anybody who needs help. Sadly, this is all just another reminder how quickly this fire devastation spread through Southern California. Kent, this is something that even the most professional and experienced of meteorologists are calling something they've never seen before.
Yeah, absolutely, Jana. That's because Los Angeles isn't just incredibly dry right now. The fires have been supercharged by tropical storm force sustained winds and hurricane force gusts. I spoke to former KARE 11 meteorologist Paul Douglas today, who said he has never seen anything like it. But he points out that the National Weather Service in the area did see the potential for it and tried to warn residents.
They issued a PDS red flag warning, a particularly dangerous situation, which is usually reserved for tornadoes and flash floods. In this case, it was for a wind event, and they knew that with winds this strong, if fires get started, there's really no way to put them down. I think we're going to be dumbfounded, shocked by the extent of damage. It really was hell on earth. The fact that people abandoning their cars in the middle of the street and running to the Pacific Coast Highway to try to evacuate, to try to get to safety. You had people calling 911 from their swimming pools. As soon as they put down one fire, the embers going miles downwind would ignite new fires. So you're playing whack-a-mole, but with fire. And thank God for the first responders who risk their lives to help people. When the winds are that strong, the planes, the choppers dropping fire retardant, they can't fly when you have 50, 60, 80 mile an hour winds. It's not safe for the pilots. So it really was a perfect storm. The low humidity, the high winds, the dry brush, it all came together. And I don't think this is the last time we're going to see a major urban area threatened by wildfire. It's a wake-up call to me, and I think it's a wake-up call to a lot of people that you have to have a plan B and a plan C. And I don't care what you're doing, how busy you are, how busy your schedule is, you need to pay attention. And when the National Weather Service issues a PDS fire warning, red flag warning, or a flood emergency or a tornado emergency, you should listen to them. Don't second guess them, because you may not have a whole lot of time to save your life and your family's life. And that's not hype. We've always had fires. We've always had floods. Yes, we've always had hurricanes, but the dries are drier and the wets are wetter. And we're seeing that on our screens now. We're seeing the impact of what weather on steroids really looks like.
Now back to those winds for a minute, Jana. We do know that they died down enough this afternoon for those airdrops to start up so that they could start to hopefully get more of this under control. That is a hopeful sign, at least. Again, hope is all we can really talk about at this point, with so much yet to be determined.
Right, and it's a short window, because I saw Paul wrote something today saying the winds could possibly pick up again as soon as Friday morning, Friday night.
Right, and you have systems and water and hydrants that are so stressed right now that they had trouble even getting water out yesterday. So there's just so much to be determined yet.
All right, well, we'll keep tabs with the latest and with Matt's family. Thanks, Ken.